The first thing I register is the pain. Not the sharp, cold agony of the fever that took me on that filthy street corner, but a dull, throbbing ache behind my eyes, the familiar ache of a sleepless night spent weeping. My body feels too light, too soft. My hands, when I lift them to my face, are not the gnarled, calloused claws of a beggar woman. They are smooth, pale, the nails neatly trimmed and polished with a faint pink tint. I stare at them in the dim light filtering through the silk curtains of my canopy bed, and the breath catches in my throat. I am 17. My skin is unlined. My fingers do not shake with hunger. I am not dead. I am back. The sound of hurried footsteps in the corridor yanks me from my stunned silence. Chunhua, my maid, bursts through the door without knocking, her round face flushed and sweaty. Miss Lin, you must wait quickly. Your father is in the main courtyard, and that scholar is here again. The poor one from the temple fair. My blood turns to ice. The temple fair. That is today. That is the day I met Ling Fei in my first life. The day I first looked into those ambitious, calculating eyes and mistook them for brilliance and passion. But Chunhua said again, that means this is not the first visit. The timeline has warped. He has come early. He is already here, already trying to ensnare me. He is causing a scene, Chunhua continues, wringing her hands. Your father is trying to send him away, but he is shouting about his mother's illness and his great destiny. The neighbors are gathering at the gate. I throw back the quilt and swing my legs out of the bed. The cool wooden floor against my bare feet grounds me, anchors me in this impossible reality. I do not have time to mourn the life I lost. I do not have time to feel the overwhelming rush of relief at seeing my own hands, my own room, my own skin untouched by suffering. I have a crisis to manage. A crisis I created in my last life by being too soft, too kind, too stupidly willing to believe in a man's desperate lies. I grab a plain cloak, not the embroidered silk one I wore on that fateful day years ago. I do not need to impress anyone today. I need to destroy a predator before he can sink his claws into my family. Chunhua trails behind me, babbling about the scholar's fine manners and how pitiful he looked. She is already on his side. That is how it starts. One sympathetic soul at a time, and then the whole world believes the penniless wretch deserves your fortune more than you do. The main courtyard is in chaos. My father, stout and red-faced, stands on the stone steps, his arms crossed, his expression thunderous. Before him, kneeling in the dirt like a penitent sinner, is the man who destroyed me. Ling Fei. He is younger than I remember, painfully thin, his scholar's robe so threadbare I can see the patches from here. His hair is tied back with a frayed ribbon, and his face, sharp-boned and intense, is tilted up toward my father with an expression of such profound suffering that anyone watching would feel their heart clench. I feel nothing but revulsion. Master Lin, Ling Fei cries out, his voice carrying perfectly to the growing crowd at the gate. I am not a beggar. I am a scholar. A man of learning and ambition. I ask not for charity but for a loan. One tael. Just one, to buy medicine for my dying mother. I will repay it. I swear upon my ancestors and my future career that I will repay it 100-fold. 1,000-fold. My father scoffs, but I see the flicker of hesitation in his eyes. He is a merchant, not a monster. He believes in profit, but he also believes in mercy. If I do not intervene now, he will give Ling Fei the money. He will open the door. And then Ling Fei will walk through it and take everything. I step out from the shadow of the gallery and descend the steps slowly, deliberately, my bare feet silent on the cold stone. Ling Fei's eyes snap to me, and I watch the transformation happen in real time. The desperate, suffering scholar flickers for just a moment, replaced by something cold and calculating. He has seen me. He knows who I am. The merchant's daughter. The soft-hearted girl who writes secret poems. The mark. Miss Lin, he breathes, his voice shifting to a lower, more intimate register. Please. I have heard of your compassion. Your kindness is legendary in this city. My mother is dying. I am at my wit's end. I have nowhere else to turn. I stop in front of him. The crowd at the gate has grown silent, watching the scene unfold. My father is staring at me confused. I never come out for these things. I hide in my room and listen through the walls, my heart aching with pity. Not today. Today, I am the one holding the blade. You are Ling Fei, I say. Not a question. A statement. Yes, Mississippi. The son of Ling Huai, the former magistrate of Huzhou. My father died in disgrace, but I am determined to restore our family name. I will be the greatest scholar this province has ever seen. I will be a minister at court. I will. And your mother is dying, I interrupt, my voice flat. You said that already. You are a scholar. You should learn to be concise. He falters. He expected me to be moved by his grand ambitions, not bored by his rhetoric. Yes, Mississippi. My mother is too sick to travel here herself, I assume, I say. Too sick to write a letter. Too sick to send a servant. So you came here, a man of supposed great learning, to kneel in the mud and beg from a merchant's family. How dignified. The crowd at the gate stirs. Someone laughs nervously. Ling Fei's face flushes a dull red. Miss Lin, I am desperate. A man does what he must for his mother. A man does what he must for his mother, I repeat, savoring the words. What a beautiful sentiment. But you're asking me to invest in you. You are asking my father to part with silver he earned through years of honest trade. For a promise. A promise from a man who cannot even afford to buy his own mother's medicine. Tell me, Scholar Ling, if you are so brilliant, so destined for greatness, why is your own family so poor? Why did your father die in disgrace? Why is your mother sick in a shack, while you spend your days writing poetry at temple fairs? The questions land like physical blows. He recoils, his carefully crafted mask of suffering cracking. I see the anger flash in his eyes, raw and unguarded. For a moment, I see the man he will become. The minister who will discard me like a used rag. The husband who will let my father die of shame and my mother starve in the streets. I see him, and I feel no pity. You do not understand, he says, his voice tight. The world is not fair. Talent is not always rewarded. My father was a good man, a just man, and he was destroyed by political enemies. I am trying to rise above it. I am trying to use my family's money to do it. I finish for him. Trying to take from us what you cannot earn yourself. You think my father is a merchant, so his wealth is somehow less deserving than your supposed brilliance. You think I am a merchant's daughter, so my pity is a resource to be mined. That is not what then what is it? I step closer to him, close enough to see the faint tremor in his jaw. What are you offering me in return for this loan? A promise of future glory, your word, your honor. You stand here in rags, begging for coin, and you dare to speak to me as if I should be honored to help you. As if I owe you something simply because you're a man with a pen and a dream. He is trembling now, whether with rage or humiliation, I cannot tell. The crowd is fully engaged, muttering among themselves. My father is staring at me as if I have been replaced by a stranger. I suppose I have. The girl who would have fallen for this performance is dead. I am what remains after she learned the cost of kindness. I will remember this, Miss Lin, Ling Fei says, his voice dropping to a low, venomous whisper. I will remember your coldness. When I am powerful, when I am a minister, I will not forget how you humiliated me in front of this crowd. I smile at him. A small, serene smile that holds no warmth. You should remember it, I say. It is the most important lesson you will ever learn. The world owes you nothing. I owe you nothing. And no amount of brilliance or ambition will ever make you worthy of a woman like me. I turn to my father, who is now pale and sweating. Father, please have the servants escort this man from our property. If he refuses to leave, send for the magistrate. I am certain there is a law against disturbing the peace. My father opens his mouth, closes it, then nods. He gestures to the two burly servants who stand by the gate. They move forward, grabbing Ling Fei by the arms and hauling him to his feet. He resists, his eyes locked on me, burning with naked hatred. You will regret this, he shouts. You will regret this day. When I have power, I will crush your family. I will. He is dragged through the gate and unceremoniously dumped onto the street. The crowd disperses, muttering, some amused, some shocked. The courtyard falls silent. My father turns to me, his face a mask of confusion and concern. Lianhua, he says, using my full name. What came over you, that poor boy? Father, I interrupt gently, taking his arm. That poor boy would have bled us dry. Do not mistake hunger for humility. He was a wolf dressed as a lamb. I saw it. I saw exactly what he was. You could not have known that. He seemed so genuine, so desperate. Perhaps not, I agree, leading him into the house. But I would rather be cruel than be a fool. And I would rather be hated than be ruined. He looks at me, his brow furrowed, but he says nothing. He does not understand. How could he? He has never been betrayed by someone he loved. He has never felt the cold weight of a dismissal letter in his hands while the man who wrote it married someone else. He has never died of fever in a gutter, watching the rain wash away his own blood. But I remember. I remember everything. And as I walk through the familiar halls of my childhood home, surrounded by the silence of a family still intact, still safe, I make a vow. I will not let him take anything from me this time. Not my father. Not my fortune. Not my life. I have been given a second chance, and I will use it to build something unshakable. Something he can never tear down. And if Ling Fei thinks he can humble me, he is wrong. I have already survived the worst he can do. I have already died by his hand. There is nothing left he can take from me that I have not already lost and reclaimed. The only power he has is the power I give him. And I have decided to give him none. I reach my room and close the door, leaning against it, my heart pounding. Chunhua is hovering nearby, looking at me with wide eyes. Miss, she whispers, you were terrifying. I have never seen you like that. It was like you were a different person. I look at her young, trusting face and I smile. I say quietly. I am a different person. And you should never mention that scholar's name to me again. Do you understand? She nods, still confused, but obedient. I do not explain. I cannot. No one would believe me. No one would understand that I have already lived this life once, and I refuse to live it again on anyone else's terms. The day passes in a blur. I eat dinner with my parents, my mother solicitous, my father still uneasy. I listen to their talk about the business, the shop, the upcoming trade route negotiations. In my past life, I ignored all of this. I was too busy dreaming of poets and scholars, too absorbed in my own romantic fantasies to see the real world around me. Not now. Now, I am listening. I am learning. I am planning. That night I lie awake, staring at the canopy above me, the fabric patterns I have known since childhood. I feel the weight of the day settle over me like a blanket. I have survived the first battle. Ling Fei is humiliated, furious, and publicly rejected. He will not forget me. He will plot his revenge. But that is a problem for another day. For now, I am alive. I am young. I am free. And I have a future to build. One that has nothing to do with starving scholars or empty promises. One that belongs entirely to me. I close my eyes, and for the first time in 2 lifetimes, I sleep without dreaming of him. The weeks after Ling Fei's public humiliation pass in a strange, hushed rhythm. My mother watches me with worried eyes, my father with cautious respect. I catch them whispering at night, their voices too low to distinguish, but I know what they are saying. They are trying to understand what happened to their gentle, soft-hearted daughter. They do not ask. I do not explain. Let them wonder. Let them be confused. Confusion is better than the truth, and the truth would break them. I throw myself into my father's business with a ferocity that alarms everyone. I am in the warehouses at dawn, studying the ledgers by lamplight, memorizing the flow of goods and the patterns of profit. My father's clerks, old men who have worked for him for decades, watch me with barely concealed disdain. A woman in the counting house is an affront to nature. A young woman, an unmarried daughter, is an abomination. I do not care. I have seen what happens when you leave your fate in the hands of men. I will never make that mistake again. By the end of the first month, I know more about the business than my father does. I know which suppliers cheat him, which routes are profitable, which goods sell for more in the northern cities. I suggest changes gently at first, letting him believe the ideas are his. He is a good man, my father, but he is not a visionary. He is content with his small empire, his modest fortune. I need more. I need enough to ensure that no one, not even a powerful minister, can ever touch us again. The turning point comes on a humid afternoon. I am in the main warehouse, supervising the unloading of a shipment of tea from Fujian, when one of the clerks, a grizzled man named Old Zhang, approaches me with a sneer on his face. He has been with my father for 20 years, and he resents my presence. "Miss Lin," he says, his tone oily and condescending, "you should not be here. This is not a place for a delicate young lady. The dust will ruin your clothes. The noise will hurt your ears. Why do you not go inside and embroider? That is what young ladies do." I look at him for a long moment. In my past life, I would have blushed. I would have retreated to my room, shamed by his words, desperate to prove that I was a proper, well-bred girl. I spent years trying to be proper. I died in the gutter anyway. There is no propriety in starvation. "Old Zhang," I say, my voice calm and pleasant. "How many taels of silver did we lose last year on the northern route?" He blinks. I do not recall exactly. A few hundred, perhaps. It is not important. It is 217 taels, I say. I have been through the ledgers. The loss is due to the bribes our agents are paying to the customs officials in Luoyang. I have identified which agents are skimming from the top and which are simply incompetent. I have drafted a list of replacements. It is on my father's desk. He stares at me, his mouth hanging open. The other clerks have stopped working, listening. The warehouse is silent except for the distant creak of the rafters. How do you know this?" he stammers. "You are just a girl. A child. You cannot possibly understand these things." "I understand more than you think," I say, stepping closer to him. "I understand that you have been padding the accounts for the last 3 years, taking a small percentage of each transaction for yourself. I understand that you thought no one would notice because you are old and trusted, and my father is too busy to check your work. I understand that if I were to show my father the evidence, you would be out on the street before sunset, with no references and no future." His face drains of color. He takes a step back, knocking into a crate of tea, sending it clattering to the floor. The other clerks gasp. You cannot prove that," he whispers, but his voice trembles. "I do not need to prove it," I say. "I just need to ask my father to audit the accounts for the last 3 years. I am sure he will find everything he needs. But I am willing to be merciful. You will leave quietly today with a month's wages. You will not speak of this to anyone. You will disappear from this city. If I ever see your face again, I will have you charged with theft, and you will rot in a prison cell. Do you understand?" He nods, his face ashen. "Yes, Mississippi. I understand. I am sorry. I am so sorry. Please do not tell your father. I have a family. I have grandchildren." "Then think of them," I say, "when you are tempted to steal from the people who trusted you. Go. And pray that I do not change my mind." He flees, stumbling through the warehouse doors. The remaining clerks look at me with new eyes full of fear and reluctant respect. They will not challenge me again. They know now that I see everything, that I miss nothing. That is exactly what I need. Loyalty born of fear is still loyalty. It will do until I can earn something better. Word spreads quickly through the household. By that evening, my father knows everything. He calls me to study, his expression unreadable. For a long moment, he says nothing, just looks at me as if seeing me for the first time. I wait, my hands clasped in front of me, my heart steady. I have already survived the worst. I can survive his disappointment. "You dismissed old Zhang," he says finally. "After 20 years of service. You threatened him. You blackmailed him. He was stealing from us," I say. "He had been stealing for years. You trusted him, and he betrayed that trust. I simply protected our family." He sighs, rubbing his temples. "You are not wrong. I knew, somewhere deep down. I never wanted to look. It was easier not to know. But you looked. You saw. And you acted. How did you become this person? Lianhua, who are you?" I hesitate. The truth hovers on my lips, the impossible story of my death, my rebirth, the years of suffering and loss. But I cannot tell him. It would destroy him to know what happened to me, what happened to him, what his beloved daughter endured because of her own foolishness. So I lie. It is a kind lie, a merciful lie. "I had a dream, father," I say, meeting his eyes. A long, terrible dream. I dreamed that I trusted the wrong people and I lost everything. I dreamed that our family was destroyed by a man who pretended to love me. And I woke up knowing that I would never let that happen. I would rather be hard and safe than soft and ruined. Do you understand? He studies my face for a long moment. Then he nods slowly. I think I do, he says. I have been blind. I have let my sentimentality cloud my judgment. You are braver than me, Lianhua. You are sharper. I should be ashamed, but instead, I am proud. A lump forms in my throat. I did not expect this. I did not expect his approval. In my past life, I had his love, but I never had his respect. Now I have both, and it means more than I can possibly say. Thank you, Father, I whisper. I will not let you down. I know you will not, he says. I am going to make you my partner. Officially. I will announce it to the guild tomorrow. You will have full authority over the accounts, the suppliers, the routes. You will answer to no one but me. And when I am gone, this business will be yours. All of it. I bow my head, overwhelmed. I do not know what to say. Say you will use it wisely, he says. Say you will build something that lasts. Something that no one can take from you. I will, I say. I swear it. The next morning, my father makes the announcement. The Merchants' Guild, a collection of wealthy old men who have never taken a woman seriously, is scandalized. They argue, they protest, they threaten to withdraw their support. My father stands firm. He is not a powerful man, but he is stubborn and he loves me. In the end, they capitulate. They have no choice. I am his heir and they know it. I begin to attend meetings with the guild. I sit at the long table, surrounded by men twice my age, all of them staring at me with barely concealed hostility. I let them talk. I listen. I learn their weaknesses. I note their alliances. I do not speak unless I have something to say, and when I do speak, I do not waste words. Slowly, grudgingly, they begin to listen. A woman in their midst is still an outrage, but a woman who understands profit is a useful tool. The profits begin to climb. I renegotiate contracts. I cut off corrupt suppliers. I open new routes to the south, to the ports, where foreign goods are cheap and demand is high. My father watches, his pride growing with each success. My mother, still worried, still anxious, busies herself with finding me a suitable husband. I let her try. I do not have the heart to tell her that I am not interested. I have had enough of love. I want something solid. Something permanent. Something that cannot be taken away by a letter and a handful of silver. It is 6 months after my rebirth when I hear the news. Ling Fei has passed the prefectural examinations. He is no longer a failed scholar. He is a rising star. The same patrons who once laughed at him are now courting his favor. He is attending the best salons, dining with the most influential officials. His name is on everyone's lips. He is the man to watch. The man who rose from nothing. The man who will go far. I know he will. I know because I have seen it. In my past life, he rose just as quickly, just as spectacularly. He had charm, intelligence, and an utter lack of conscience. It is a powerful combination. It will carry him almost to the top. Almost. The difference is this time, I am not at his side. I am not funding him. I am not providing him with the connections and resources he used to launch himself. He must do it all himself, without the cushion of my family's wealth. It does not matter. He is resourceful. He will find other people to use. He always does. But I am afraid. The fear is cold and constant, a knot in my chest that tightens every time I hear his name. I know what he is capable of. I know how ruthless he can be. And I know that he has not forgiven me for the public humiliation I inflicted on him in my father's courtyard. He will come for me. It is not a question of if. It is a question of when. I prepare. I strengthen our defenses. I make alliances with other powerful families, families that can protect us. I court the favor of the magistrate, a decent man who has no love for upstarts. I build a network of informants, men and women who report to me, who keep me informed of Ling Fei's movements. I do not confront him directly. That would be foolish. Instead, I stay one step ahead, watching, waiting, ready. And then it happens. A letter arrives at our home, on fine parchment, sealed with the mark of a rising official. It is an invitation to a banquet. A banquet hosted by Ling Fei. He has become a secretary in the Ministry of Rights, a significant position for a man of his age. He is celebrating his success, and he has invited the Lin family. The invitation is formal, courteous, and thoroughly chilling. There is a note attached, written in his own hand. Miss Lin, it reads, I have not forgotten your kindness. I hope you will honor me with your presence. I owe you so much. I read the note 3 times, my hands trembling. He is mocking me. He is rubbing my face in his success. He wants to see me, to measure my reaction, to gloat. He wants to remind me that I underestimated him, that I rejected him, that I was wrong to do so. It is a trap, but it is a trap I cannot avoid. Refusing again would be an insult, a provocation. It would give him an excuse to move against us. I have to go. I have to face him. My mother is delighted. A secretary in the Ministry of Rights, she exclaims. Oh, Lianhua, think of the match. If he is interested in you, if he still has feelings for you after all this time, you could be a minister's wife. You could be, no, I say, cutting her off. He is not interested in me. He is interested in revenge. And I will not let him have it. Then why are you going, she asks, confused. Because I need to see what he has become, I say. I need to look into his eyes and know what I am facing. And I need to show him that I am not afraid. The night of the banquet arrives. I dress carefully, not in my finest silks, but in a gown of deep blue, understated and elegant. I wear no jewelry except a simple jade pendant, the one my grandmother gave me. I want to look unassuming, plain, a merchant's daughter who knows her place. I want him to underestimate me. It is the only advantage I have. My father and I arrive at the banquet hall. It is a grand estate, rented for the occasion, filled with officials, scholars, and their wives. The air is thick with perfume and ambition. I scan the room, looking for him. And then I find him. He is at the head of the table, surrounded by admirers, his face alight with triumph. He is wearing robes of fine silk, the mark of his new status. He looks at me, and for a moment, our eyes meet. I see the flicker of hatred, quickly hidden behind a smile. He rises from his seat and walks toward me. Miss Lin, he says, his voice warm and welcoming. How wonderful of you to come. I was afraid you might not. I curtsy, keeping my eyes lowered. I could not refuse such a gracious invitation. Secretary Ling, congratulations on your promotion. Your father would be so proud. He stiffens at the mention of his father. It is a small barb, but I see it land. His father died in disgrace, and he hates to be reminded of it. Thank you, he says, his smile tightening. It has been a long journey. But I have risen, as I always knew I would. And I have not forgotten the people who helped me along the way. He reaches out and takes my hand, his fingers cold and firm. I have not forgotten you, Miss Lin. Not for a single moment. I force myself to smile. That is so kind of you, Secretary Ling. I am sure you have met many more interesting people than a simple merchant's daughter since your rise. The capital must be full of fascinating company. It is, he agrees. But no one is quite as unforgettable as you. He leans closer, his voice dropping to a whisper. I have thought about you often. About your sharp words. Your cold eyes. Your rejection. It made me stronger, you know. It made me furious. And fury is a wonderful fuel. I look up at him, meeting his gaze steadily. I am glad to hear it, I say. Fury has its uses. But it can also destroy the one who holds it. Be careful, Secretary Ling. You have come far, but the higher you rise, the harder you fall. He laughs, a sharp, bitter sound. I will remember that, Miss Lin. I will remember everything you have ever said to me. And I will repay you. In time. He releases my hand and turns away, returning to his admirers. I stand alone in the crowd, my heart pounding, my palms sweating. The banquet stretches before me, endless and fraught with hidden dangers. I know he will not strike tonight. He is too clever for that. But he is watching me, waiting for a weakness, a moment of vulnerability. I cannot give him that. I have to be strong. I have to be perfect. I walk to my seat, taking my place at the table. I smile. I chat. I eat the exquisite food and drink the fine wine. I am a perfect guest. No one suspects anything. But inside, I am coiled like a serpent, ready to strike at the first sign of threat. I have survived him once. I will survive him again. I will do whatever it takes to protect my family, my fortune, my second chance at life. Ling Fei will not take anything from me. Not this time. Not ever. The banquet ends. We return home. I lie in my bed, staring at the ceiling, and I know the war has only just begun. The banquet ends, but the war does not. I feel his presence in every shadow, every whisper, every strange carriage that lingers too long on our street. Ling Fei is patient. He has learned from his first failure. He will not strike openly. He will find a crack in my armor, a weakness he can exploit, and he will drive the blade deep. I do not wait for him to act. I am done waiting. In my past life, I waited for him to love me. I waited for him to keep his promises. I waited for him to be the man I believed he could be. Waiting killed me. This time, I move first. The morning after the banquet, I summon my father's best clerk, a quiet young man named Feng Ji who has been with us for 3 years. He is thin, nervous, and utterly loyal. He has no family to speak of, no ties to any faction, no ambition beyond keeping his position. He is perfect. Feng Ji, I say, handing him a small pouch of silver. I need you to follow someone. A man. He travels frequently between the capital and our city. He is a minor official in the Ministry of Rights, a friend of Secretary Ling. His name is Wei Chong. I need to know where he goes, who he meets, what he says. Everything. Feng Ji's eyes widen. Miss Lin, that is dangerous. If I am caught, you will not be caught, I say. You are too clever for that. And I will protect you. If anything happens, I will deny everything. I will say you acted alone. You will be dismissed, and you will disappear, and no one will ever find you. But nothing will happen. You are just a clerk, a shadow in the crowd. No one notices you. He swallows hard, but he takes the pouch. What am I looking for, miss? Anything that ties him to Secretary Ling, I say. Letters. Payments. Meetings in secret places. I need to know what they are planning. And I need to know before they act. He bows and leaves. I watch him go, my heart racing. I am gambling with his life, and he does not even know the full stakes. But I have no choice. I cannot fight Ling Fei alone. I need allies. I need information. And I need to be ruthless. The days pass. Feng Ji reports every night, his voice low, his eyes darting to the door. Wei Cheng is meeting with a group of merchants who have long resented my father's success. They are angry that a woman has taken over the family business. They are angry that I have cut into their profits. And they are willing to help Ling Fei destroy me. I learn their names. I learn their weaknesses. One of them, a fat, greasy man named Wang Yuan, has a secret. He has a mistress, a beautiful woman he keeps in a house on the edge of the city. His wife, a formidable woman from a powerful family, knows nothing about it. If she found out, she would destroy him. I do not want to destroy him. I want to use him. I arrange a meeting. It is not easy. Wang Yuan is paranoid, careful. But I am patient. I wait until he visits his mistress, and then I send a message, delivered by a child, worded so carefully that he cannot ignore it. There are eyes on you, Master Wang. Eyes that see everything. If you want to keep your secrets, meet me at the tea pavilion at sunset. Come alone. He comes. He has no choice. I am sitting in the corner of the pavilion, veiled, sipping tea. He approaches, his face pale, his hands trembling. What do you want? He hisses. Who are you? I lower my veil. His face goes from pale to ashen. Miss Lin, he breathes. I should have known. You have been watching me. Watching everyone, I agree. I know about the meetings. I know about the plan. I know that Secretary Ling has promised you my father's business in exchange for your help in destroying our family. He opens his mouth to deny it, then closes it. There is no point. I know everything. What do you want? He repeats, his voice cracking. I want you to stop, I say. I want you to cut ties with Secretary Ling. I want you to tell me everything he has promised you, everything he has asked you to do, and then I want you to go back to your life and pretend this conversation never happened. And if I refuse, then your wife will receive a letter tomorrow morning, detailing your little arrangement with the mistress. She will know everything. Your name will be ruined. Your business will collapse. Your children will be disgraced. And you will have no one to blame but yourself. He stares at me, his face twisted with rage and fear. You are a monster, he whispers. You are worse than him. He is ambitious. You are something else entirely. I am a survivor, I say calmly. And I will do whatever it takes to protect what is mine. Now, choose. He chooses. He tells me everything. The plan is simple. Ling Fei intends to use his connections in the ministry to have my father's trade licenses revoked. He will claim that my father has been smuggling contraband, evading taxes, violating the emperor's decrees. It is a lie, but it is a lie that could destroy us. My father will be arrested. Our goods will be seized. Our name will be ruined. And Ling Fei will swoop in, offering to buy our assets for a fraction of their value, effectively taking everything we have built. It is a brilliant plan. It is exactly what he did in my past life, but then he had me as an ally, a willing victim. Now he is doing it from the outside. But the result would be the same. My family would be destroyed. And I would be left with nothing. I do not let the fear take hold. I am cold. I am calculating. I have the information I need. Now I need to act. I go to the magistrate. Magistrate Chen is a just man, a fair man, but he is also a politician. He will not help me out of the goodness of his heart. I need to give him a reason. I take Wang Yuan's confession, signed and sealed, and I place it on his desk. I explain the situation. I tell him that Ling Fei is planning to fabricate evidence against my father. I show him the names of the other merchants involved. I lay it all out, clean and clear, and I wait. Magistrate Chen reads the documents in silence. Then he looks up at me, his expression unreadable. This is a serious accusation, he says. You are accusing a rising official of corruption and conspiracy. If you are wrong, your family will be destroyed. If you are right, I will have made a powerful enemy. You are a just man, I say. You are the magistrate of this city. You are the only one who can protect us. I am not asking you to act against Secretary Ling. I am asking you to do your duty. Investigate. See the truth for yourself. And if you find that I am lying, I will accept the consequences. But if you find that I am telling the truth, I beg you to act. He is silent for a long moment. Then he nods slowly. I will investigate, he says. I will not act until I have proof. But I will investigate. And if what you say is true, Secretary Ling will face the consequences. I bow. Thank you, Magistrate Chen. You will not regret this. The investigation begins. Magistrate Chen is thorough. He interviews the merchants. He examines the trade records. He sends his own agents to the capital to look into Ling Fei's activities. It is slow, painstaking work. Weeks pass. Ling Fei, unaware of the net closing around him, continues his scheming. He thinks he is winning. He thinks I am helpless. I let him think that. I let him believe I am still a merchant's daughter, a naive girl who stumbled into power by accident. I let him underestimate me. It is the only advantage I have, and I will not waste it. Then, one evening, a messenger arrives at our home. He is dusty, exhausted, and he carries a letter with the seal of the magistrate. I open it with trembling hands. It is brief, but it is all I need. Ling Fei has been arrested. The evidence against him is overwhelming. He has been stripped of his position, his titles, his honor. He is under investigation for conspiracy to commit fraud, for fabricating evidence, for abusing his office. He will face trial. He will be punished. He is done. I read the letter 3 times. I do not weep. I do not laugh. I just sit there, staring at the words, feeling a weight lift from my shoulders. It is over. He is gone. He cannot hurt us. He cannot hurt me. I have won. That night, I sleep for the first time in months without dreaming of his face. I am free. I am safe. I am everything I wanted to be. But the war does not end with Ling Fei's arrest. In my past life, he was the only enemy I knew. Now I have others. The merchants who conspired with him are still out there. The enemies he made are now my enemies. And there are always more people who will try to tear you down, especially when you are a woman, a merchant's daughter, rising too fast, too high. I will not let them. I will build my empire. I will protect my family. I will never be weak again. And when the next threat comes, and it will come, I will be ready. I have learned the most important lesson of all. The only person you can truly rely on is yourself. And I am enough. I am more than enough. The days pass. My father recovers his health. My mother stops worrying about my marriage. I am too busy, too successful, too powerful to be a proper wife. I am something else now. I am a force. And I will never let anyone take that away from me again. 1 month after Ling Fei's arrest, I receive another letter. It is from him. He is in prison, awaiting his trial. He has written to beg for my forgiveness, for my mercy, for my help. He says he was wrong. He says he was a fool. He says he loves me, always has, always will. I read the letter, and I burn it. There is nothing left between us. He is just a man who tried to destroy me. And I am a woman who rose from the ashes of my own death. I do not need his apologies. I do not want his love. I want nothing from him except his absence. I walk to the window, looking out at the city below. The sun is setting, painting the sky in shades of gold and crimson. It is beautiful. It is the first sunset I have really seen in 2 lifetimes. And as I watch it, I know that this is not the end. This is just the beginning. I have so much more to build, so much more to become. And I am ready. I am finally, truly ready. The trial of Ling Fei is the talk of the city. Every tea house, every marketplace, every whispered conversation in every shadowed corner revolves around the fallen secretary. They say he wept when the verdict was read. They say he begged for mercy, his voice cracking like a boy's. They say the magistrate's face remained carved from stone, unmoved by the spectacle of a brilliant man reduced to trembling ruin. I do not attend the trial. I have no desire to see him brought low. The satisfaction I might have felt in my first life, the bitter triumph I once dreamed of, has curdled into something hollow. Watching him fall does not heal me. It does not fill the empty spaces where my hope used to live. It just confirms what I already know. Ambition without conscience is a fire that consumes everything, including the one who lit it. The sentence is exile. Banishment to the northern frontier, where the cold is relentless and the soil yields nothing. He will spend the rest of his life in a frozen wasteland, his brilliance useless, his connections meaningless. It is not death, but it is close enough. He will be forgotten. The world will move on. And I will be free to build my future without his shadow looming over me. Or so I believe. The merchants who conspired with him are punished too, though more lightly. Fines, public reprimands, the loss of their trade privileges for a year. They will recover. They are too wealthy, too connected to be destroyed by a single scandal. But they will remember. They will remember that a merchant's daughter defeated them. They will remember that I am not to be trifled with. And they will wait. They are patient men, these merchants. They have learned from Ling Fei's mistake. They will not attack me directly. They will find other ways to undermine me, other channels to exploit. I must remain vigilant. I must remain strong. But even vigilance cannot prepare me for what comes next. It is a crisp autumn morning when the letter arrives. I am in my father's study, reviewing the quarterly accounts, when Chunhua bursts in, her face pale and trembling. "Miss," she gasps, "there is a visitor. A woman. She says she must speak with you. She says it is urgent. She says she is Ling Fei's mother." The brush in my hand freezes. His mother. The woman whose illness he used as a weapon to pry open my heart in my first life. The woman I pitied, the woman I sent medicine and coin to, the woman who wept when I was cast aside. She is here, in my home, demanding to see me. I set down the brush carefully. My hands do not tremble. I have trained myself to be still, to be calm, even when my insides are churning. "Show her to the receiving room," I say. "Bring tea. And stay close. Do not leave me alone with her." Chunhua nods and hurries away. I take a moment to compose myself. I do not know what Ling Fei's mother wants from me. In my past life, she was kind, grateful, gentle. She had no part in his schemes. She was simply a woman who loved her son, who believed in his talent, who would have done anything to see him succeed. I do not hate her. I cannot hate her. She is as much a victim as I was. But she is also his mother. And her love for him will always make her dangerous. I walk to the receiving room. The woman who rises to greet me is not the frail, wasted figure I remember. She is thin, yes, but her eyes are sharp, her posture straight. She is dressed in simple but clean robes, her gray hair pulled back in a neat bun. She looks at me with a gaze that is searching, assessing, weighing. She is not here to beg. She is here for something else. Miss Lin, she says, her voice low and steady. Thank you for seeing me. I know I have no right to be here. My son has wronged you grievously. He has wronged your family. I do not come to defend him. I come to warn you. I gesture for her to sit. She does, her movements deliberate, controlled. I sit across from her, my hands folded in my lap. Warn me of what? I ask. She hesitates. For a moment, the sharpness in her eyes softens, replaced by something raw and painful. My son is not the only one who wished to destroy you, she says. He was a tool. A useful, ambitious fool. The men who whispered in his ear, who promised him power in exchange for your family's ruin, they are still out there. They are more dangerous than he ever was. And they will not stop. They cannot stop. You humiliated them. You exposed their corruption. You made them look weak. A man can forgive many things, Miss Lin, but he can never forgive being made to look weak. I feel a chill crawl down my spine. Who are they? I ask. Tell me their names. She shakes her head. I do not know all of them. My son was careful. He did not trust me with everything. But I know enough. I know that the conspiracy did not end with his arrest. I know that the merchants who conspired with him were merely the visible face of something larger. There are men in the capital, men in the ministry, who funded this plot. They wanted your father's trade routes. They wanted access to the ports you control. They wanted your business, and they used my son to try to take it. I sit back, my mind racing. I have been so focused on Ling Fei, on the immediate threat, that I have not looked beyond him. I have not considered the possibility that he was merely a pawn in a larger game. It is a mistake. A dangerous one. I have been playing chess while my enemies have been playing war. The man who funded him, I say slowly. The one in the capital. Do you know his name? She meets my eyes. I do. It is Minister Zhou. The Minister of Finance. He has been building a network of influence for years, using ambitious young officials like my son to do his dirty work. He does not act openly. He never does. But he is the hand that moves the pieces. And he has not forgotten your family, Miss Lin. He cannot afford to. If you survive, if you thrive, it proves that his methods are flawed. It makes him look weak. And he cannot tolerate that. Minister Zhou. The name is familiar, a ghost from my past life. He was a powerful figure even then, a shadowy presence in the corridors of power. But I never crossed his path. I never mattered enough to attract his attention. Now I do. Now I am a target. And I have no idea how to fight a man like him. I look at Ling Fei's mother, this woman who has risked everything to come here, to warn me. Why are you telling me this? I ask. Your son is exiled. He will never return. You owe me nothing. You should hate me. I am the reason he fell. She smiles, a sad, tired smile. You are not the reason he fell, she says. He fell because he was weak. He fell because he let his ambition blind him. He fell because he refused to see that the men who used him would discard him the moment he stopped being useful. I warned him. I begged him to be content with what he had, to build his career honestly, to find a good wife and live a simple life. He would not listen. He wanted more. And more destroyed him. She stands, brushing a stray hair from her face. I do not hate you, Miss Lin. I admire you. You survived. You fought back. You did what my son could not do. You built something that could not be taken from you. I am telling you this because I have seen the future. I have seen what Minister Zhou does to those who oppose him. I have seen families destroyed, lives ruined, futures stolen. I do not want that to happen to you. You deserve better. I stand as well, my heart heavy. What about you? I ask. What will you do now your son is gone? You have no one. She shrugs, a surprisingly casual gesture. I will go to the countryside. I have a sister there, a small farm. I will live quietly. I will tend my garden and watch the seasons change. It is not the life I wanted for my son, but it is a good life. A peaceful life. I will be content. She turns to leave, and I call out to her. Wait. She stops, looking back at me. You have given me a gift. A warning. A chance to protect myself. I cannot repay you, but I can offer you something. If you ever need anything at all, send word to me. I will help you. I will not forget what you have done today. She smiles again, a genuine smile this time, warm and sad. You are a good woman, Miss Lin. Do not let this world make you hard. It will try. It will try to crush you, to break you, to make you bitter and cold. Do not let it. Hold on to your kindness. It is the only thing that will save you in the end. And then she is gone, slipping out the door like a ghost, leaving me alone with her words. I stand in the receiving room for a long time, staring at the empty doorway, feeling the weight of her warning settle over me. Minister Zhou, the Minister of Finance. A man so powerful, so well-connected, that he could destroy my family without lifting a finger. A man who has already tried to destroy us once, using Ling Fei as his weapon. And he will try again. He has no choice. We have become a symbol, a challenge to his authority, a threat to his power. I cannot fight him directly. That would be suicide. He is too powerful, too entrenched. But I cannot maneuver him. I can make myself too valuable to destroy, too useful to discard. I can build alliances that protect me, create a network of influence that rivals his. It will take time. It will take resources. It will take everything I have. But I have already survived death. I can survive this. I return to my father's study, my mind already spinning with plans. I need to expand. I need to diversify. I need to make our family indispensable to the empire, not just the city. I need to cultivate connections in the capital, relationships with officials who are powerful enough to protect us. It will be dangerous. It will be expensive. But it is the only way. I call for Fengji. He appears, pale and nervous as always. I need you to go to the capital, I say. I need you to find out everything you can about Minister Zhou. His allies, his enemies, his weaknesses. I need to know who he fears, who he trusts, who he has wronged. And I need to know it quickly. Fengji swallows hard. The capital is dangerous, Mississippi. If I am caught, you will not be caught, I say. You will be careful. You will be clever. And you will be rewarded. If you succeed, you will never have to worry about money again. You will never have to be afraid of anything. I will protect you. I promise. He nods, his eyes wide but determined. I will do it, Mississippi. I will not let you down. He leaves that night, traveling under a false name, carrying a pouch of silver and a letter of introduction to a merchant I trust. I watch him go, feeling the weight of his departure settle over me. I am sending a loyal man into danger, risking his life to protect my family. It is the right decision. It is the only decision. But it does not feel good. It feels like a weight I will carry forever. The weeks pass. I throw myself into the business with renewed frenzy. I negotiate new contracts. I open new routes. I secure alliances with powerful families, families that have no love for Minister Zhou, families that see me as a useful ally. I am careful. I am cautious. I am building my empire one brick at a time. And then, in the dead of winter, a letter arrives from Fengji. It is brief, written in code, the words cryptic and fragmented. But I understand. He has found something. A connection. A weakness. Minister Zhou has a mistress, a woman he loves more than his wife. She lives in a house in the capital, a secret kept from the world. And she has a child. A son. A son he cannot acknowledge, cannot protect, cannot claim. It is not enough. Not yet. But it is a start. It is a thread I can pull, a crack in his armor I can exploit. I file the information away, locking it in the deepest part of my mind. I will use it when the time is right. I will not waste it. I will not rush. The winter deepens. The snow falls, thick and relentless, blanketing the city in white. I spend my days in the warehouse, my nights in the study, planning, calculating, preparing. My mother brings me tea and worried glances. My father watches me with pride and concern. I am driving myself too hard, they say. I am pushing myself too far. They do not understand. They cannot understand. I am not just fighting for success. I am fighting for survival. I am fighting for my second chance. And I will not let it slip through my fingers. One night, I am woken by a commotion in the courtyard. Chunhua bursts into my room, her face a mask of terror. "Miss," she cries. "There are soldiers at the gate. They are demanding to see you. They say you are under arrest for conspiring with a convicted criminal. They are saying you helped Ling Fei. They are saying you are a traitor." My blood runs cold. I have been so careful, so meticulous. And yet, somehow, Minister Zhou has found a way to strike back. He has twisted the truth, distorted the facts, turned me into a villain. He has used his power to fabricate evidence, to manufacture a crime, to destroy me from the shadows. I have no time to think. No time to plan. I have only the instincts I have honed over 2 lifetimes. I dress quickly, my hands steady, my mind clear. I walk to the courtyard, my head held high, my face calm. The soldiers are there, their torches flickering in the cold night air. Their commander, a hard-faced man with cold eyes, steps forward. "Lin Lianhua," he says, his voice flat and official. "You are accused of aiding and abetting a convicted felon. You are to come with us immediately. If you resist, we have orders to use force." I meet his eyes. "I am not resisting," I say. "I will come with you. But I want it known that these charges are false. I am innocent. I have done nothing wrong. And I will prove it." The commander shrugs. "You can say that to the magistrate. My job is just to bring you in." I turn to look back at my parents, who are standing in the doorway of the house, their faces pale, their eyes filled with fear. My father takes a step forward, his fists clenched. "You cannot take her," he shouts. "She is innocent. She is my daughter." "I will not let you, father," I say, my voice soft but firm. "It is all right. I will be fine. I am not afraid. Do not do anything foolish. I will come back. I promise." He stops, tears streaming down his face. My mother is sobbing, clutching his arm. I look at them, these 2 people who love me, who have always loved me, and I feel a surge of determination. I will not let this break me. I will not let Minister Zhou win. I have survived too much, fought too hard, come too far to fall now. I am stronger than him. I am smarter than him. And I will prove it. I walk past the soldiers, my head held high, my heart steady. I do not look back. I cannot. If I look back, I might break. And I refuse to break. Not now. Not ever. The prison cell is cold and damp, the stone walls slick with moisture that seeps from the earth. A single narrow window, barred and high, lets in a sliver of gray light that does nothing to dispel the gloom. I sit on the hard wooden bench, my back straight, my hands folded in my lap. I have been here for 3 days. 3 days of silence, broken only by the occasional footsteps of guards and the distant drip of water. They have not questioned me. They have not brought me before a magistrate. They are leaving me to rot, to grow desperate, to break. I will not break. I have already survived a lifetime of suffering. A few days in a cell is nothing. But the waiting is the worst part. I have no news of my family. I do not know if my father has tried to intervene, if my mother has fallen ill with grief, if the business is collapsing without me. I do not know if my allies have abandoned me, if they are too afraid of Minister Zhou to come to my defense. I am alone, cut off from everything I have built, everything I have fought for. And then, on the 4th day, the door opens. A guard steps aside, and a figure enters. It is a woman, elegant and composed, her robes of rich silk, her face veiled. She dismisses the guard with a wave of her hand, and he withdraws, leaving us alone. She lifts her veil, and I see her face for the first time. She is beautiful, sharp-eyed, her expression unreadable. She is not young, but she carries herself with the authority of someone who has never been denied anything. "Lin Lianhua," she says, her voice cool and measured. "I have heard a great deal about you. You are more interesting than I expected." I do not rise. I do not bow. I remain seated, my posture unchanged. "Who are you?" I ask. She smiles, a thin, brittle smile. I am Minister Zhou's wife. My name is Lady Zhao. I have come to offer you a choice. I feel my heart quicken, but I keep my face still. Minister Zhou's wife. The woman who does not know about the mistress. The woman who has been betrayed by her husband in the most intimate way possible. She is not here as his ally. She is here for her own reasons. A choice, I repeat. What kind of choice? She moves closer, her silk robes whispering against the stone floor. My husband is a powerful man, she says. He has many enemies. But his greatest weakness is his pride. He cannot tolerate being humiliated. He cannot tolerate being defied. And you, Lin Lianhua, have defied him. You have survived his schemes. You have thrived despite his efforts to destroy you. That makes you a threat. And he does not tolerate threats. I meet her gaze. I am aware. He has already tried to destroy me. He has put me in a cell. He has charged me with crimes I did not commit. What more does he want? She laughs, a soft, bitter sound. He wants you dead, of course. But he is too clever to do it himself. He will let the legal process drag on, let the rumors spread, let your reputation be destroyed. And when you are finally convicted, when you are executed for treason, he will be seen as a hero. A just man who protected the empire from a corrupt merchant family. It is a beautiful plan. It is exactly what he would have done with Ling Fei if Ling Fei had not been so careless. I feel a cold fury building in my chest, but I do not let it show. You know about Ling Fei, I say. You know that my husband used him as a pawn. I know everything, she says. That is why I am here. My husband thinks he is clever. He thinks he has deceived me. He does not know that I have been watching him for years. I know about his mistress. I know about his bastard son. I know about the bribes, the corruption, the secret deals. I know everything. And I have been waiting for the right moment to use it. She pauses, her eyes boring into mine. You are that moment, Lin Lianhua. You are the one who can help me destroy him. You are the one who can give me the power to take everything from him, the way he has tried to take everything from you. I stare at her, my mind racing. This is not an ally. This is a woman who has been wronged, who has been humiliated, who has been waiting for revenge. She is using me as much as I would be using her. But that does not matter. What matters is survival. What matters is winning. What do you want me to do? I ask. She smiles again, this time with genuine warmth. I want you to stay strong, she says. I want you to endure. I will use my connections to delay your trial, to keep you alive. In the meantime, I will gather the evidence I need to destroy my husband. His mistress, his son, his corruption. I will expose him to the emperor. I will bring him down. And when he falls, you will be free. You will be vindicated. You will be more powerful than ever. And what do you get out of this, I ask? Surely you do not want to destroy your husband out of the goodness of your heart. Her face hardens. I get everything, she says. I get his position. I get his wealth. I get his power. I have been his wife for 20 years, and I have been nothing but a decoration. A trophy. A tool. I am done being used. I am done being ignored. When he falls, I will rise. And I will never be anyone's pawn again. I nod slowly. I understand her. I understand her anger, her ambition, her desperation. She is a mirror of who I was, who I could have been, if I had not learned the truth about the world. She is a dangerous ally, but she is an ally nonetheless. And right now, I need all the help I can get. I will do it, I say. I will stay strong. I will endure. And when the time comes, I will help you destroy him. But I need something in return. I need you to protect my family. I need you to make sure they are safe, that the business is safe, that no one hurts them while I am in here. Can you do that? She nods. I can. My husband is so focused on you. He has forgotten about your family. He thinks they are weak, helpless, insignificant. He will not bother them. And I will make sure they remain safe. You have my word. She turns to leave, then pauses at the door. Be strong, Lin Lianhua, she says. This is not the end. It is just the beginning. And then she is gone, leaving me alone with the silence and the cold. I sit in the darkness, my mind buzzing with possibilities. Lady Zhao is a wild card, a variable I did not anticipate. She could save me. She could betray me. She could destroy me as easily as she could save me. But I have no choice. I have to trust her. I have to hope that her hatred for her husband is stronger than her loyalty to him. It is a gamble. But I have gambled my life before. And I have won. The days turn into weeks. I am questioned, finally, by a magistrate who is clearly in Minister Zhou's pocket. He asks the same questions over and over, trying to trip me, trying to make me confess. I do not. I am calm. I am polite. I repeat the same answers in the same steady voice. I did not conspire with Ling Fei. I did not commit any crimes. I am innocent. I have nothing to confess. The magistrate grows frustrated. He threatens me. He tells me I will be tortured if I do not cooperate. I look him in the eye and tell him that torture will not make me lie. He backtracks, his face red with anger. He cannot torture me openly. There are too many eyes on this case, too many people watching. Minister Zhou's influence is strong, but it is not absolute. And I have allies I do not even know. One night, a guard slips a note through the crack in my door. I unfold it, reading it by the faint light of the moon. It is from Lady Zhao. She has made progress. She has found a witness, a former clerk of her husband's, who is willing to testify about his corruption. She has gathered letters, ledgers, evidence of bribes. She is building a case that will destroy him. I just need to hold on a little longer. I burn the note in the corner of my cell, watching the flames consume the paper. I am not alone. I have not been forgotten. And when the time comes, I will strike back. I will not just survive. I will triumph. The winter drags on, cold and endless. I grow thin. My clothes grow ragged. My hair loses its luster. But my spirit remains unbroken. I meditate. I plan. I wait. And then, one morning, the door opens again, and Lady Zhao is there, her face alight with triumph. It is done, she says. The emperor has ordered an investigation into Minister Zhou's affairs. He has been arrested. He is awaiting trial. And you, Lin Lianhua, have been released. The charges against you have been dropped. You are free. I rise, my legs weak, my body trembling. I look at her, this woman who has saved me, who has used me, who has changed the course of my life. Thank you, I say. I will never forget what you have done for me. She waves a dismissive hand. You do not owe me anything. We helped each other. That is what alliances are for. Now go. Your family is waiting for you. They have been worried sick. I walk out of the prison, blinking in the harsh sunlight. The world is the same as it was when I entered, but I am different. I am harder. I am sharper. I have been tested and I have passed. I am no longer a merchant's daughter. I am a survivor. I am a player in a game I never wanted to join. And I have won. I return home to a hero's welcome. My mother weeps. My father embraces me, his hands trembling. My servants cheer. Chunhua is weeping so hard she cannot speak. I let them fuss over me, let them feed me and clothe me and heal me. I need the rest. I need the comfort. But even as I sit in the warmth of my home, surrounded by the people I love, I know that this is not the end. Minister Zhou is gone, but there will be others. There are always others. And then, a month later, the news arrives. Minister Zhou has been convicted. He has been stripped of his titles, his wealth, his position. He has been exiled to the northern frontier, the same frozen wasteland where Ling Fei was sent. His mistress has fled. His bastard son has been sent to a monastery. His wife, Lady Zhao, has been rewarded for her loyalty to the throne. She has been given his position, a woman in the highest council of the empire. She is powerful. She is feared. And she is my ally. I receive a letter from her, written in elegant script. You have earned your place in this world, she writes. Use it wisely. Build your empire. Protect your family. And remember, Lin Lianhua, that power is not given. It is taken. You have taken yours. Do not ever let anyone take it from you. I fold the letter carefully and place it in a locked chest. I will keep it as a reminder of what I have survived, what I have achieved, what I am capable of. I am no longer the naive girl who fell for a starving scholar's lies. I am no longer the broken woman who died in the gutter. I am a new creation, forged in fire, tempered by pain. And I am ready for whatever comes next. The empire moves on. Minister Zhou is forgotten. Ling Fei is a distant memory. New threats arise, new challenges, new battles. But I am ready. I have built my empire, brick by brick, alliance by alliance, victory by victory. I have chosen my own husband, a kind and gentle man who respects my strength. I have given my parents a life of comfort and security. I have given myself peace. And I will never let anyone take it from me again. The final battle is not against Ling Fei. It is not against Minister Zhou. It is against the fear that lives in my own heart, the fear that I will lose everything I have built, the fear that I am still the girl who is cast aside. I have faced that fear. I have conquered it. And I have emerged stronger than I ever imagined possible. The story of Lin Lianhua is not a story of revenge. It is a story of survival. It is a story of rebirth. It is a story of a woman who refused to be defined by her pain, who refused to be broken by her betrayals, who refused to let the world destroy her. I am that woman. I am the woman who rose from the ashes. I am the woman who built a future out of nothing. I am the woman who won. And I will never lose again. Freedom tastes like nothing I expected. It is not sweet. It is not triumphant. It is simply air in my lungs and sunlight on my skin, ordinary things I had forgotten how to crave. I walk through the streets of my city, past the stalls and the shops and the faces that once belonged to strangers and now belong to my world. They bow to me now, the merchant's daughter who brought down a minister. They whisper my name with a mixture of fear and reverence. Lin Lianhua, the woman who survived, the woman who rose. I hate the whispers. They make me feel like a monument, not a person. But I do not correct them. I let them talk. It is useful to be feared. It is useful to be respected. It keeps the wolves at bay. My father has aged in the months I was imprisoned. His hair is grayer, his shoulders more stooped. He does not speak of the fear he felt, the sleepless nights, the desperate prayers. He does not need to. I see it in his eyes every time he looks at me. He is proud. He is relieved. He is exhausted. I take over the business fully now, letting him rest, letting him be the patriarch in name only. He does not argue. He has earned his peace. My mother fusses over me constantly. She brings me tea and tonics, wraps me in warm blankets, tries to coax me into eating more. I let her. It makes her happy. And I am learning, slowly, to accept happiness in small doses. I have spent so long fighting, so long surviving, that I have forgotten how to simply exist. I am relearning. It is harder than I expected. But the peace does not last. It never does. It is early spring when the letter arrives. The messenger is a young man, dusty and exhausted, his clothes travel-worn. He delivers the letter to my father's study, bowing low, his hands trembling. My father reads it first, his face going pale. Then he hands it to me, his fingers shaking. The letter is from the northern frontier. It is written in a cramped, desperate hand, the ink smudged with what might be tears. It is from Ling Fei. He is dying, he says. The cold has ravaged his lungs. He has no money, no friends, no hope. His mother is gone, dead of a fever she caught on the journey to her sister's farm. He is alone in the frozen wasteland, surrounded by strangers who care nothing for his brilliance. He begs me to come to him. He begs me to forgive him. He begs me to save him. I read the letter twice, my face impassive. My father watches me, his expression unreadable. You are not going to go, he says. It is not a question. I fold the letter carefully, placing it on the desk between us. No, I say. I am not going. But even as I say it, I feel something shift inside me. A restlessness. A pull. I have spent 2 lifetimes running from Ling Fei, fighting him, hating him. He has been the center of my world, the axis on which my suffering turned. And now he is dying, far away, utterly powerless. He is nothing. He is a ghost. And I should feel nothing but relief. But I do not feel relief. I feel something else. Something I cannot name. The weeks pass. I throw myself into work, trying to drown the feeling in ledgers and contracts. I expand the business. I open new routes to the south, to the east, to the ports where foreign ships dock. I hire new clerks, new agents, new allies. I am building an empire, a fortress, a world that cannot be taken from me. And yet, in the quiet moments, in the dead of night, I see his face. Not the face of the scheming secretary, not the face of the vengeful minister, but the face of the starving scholar who knelt in the mud and begged for a tale of silver. The face of a man who was broken before he ever broke me. I do not understand why I cannot let him go. I have one. I have everything. He has nothing. And still, he haunts me. One evening, my husband finds me in the study, staring at the letter. He is a gentle man, a kind man, a man who has never asked me to be anything other than what I am. He does not ask about the letter. He simply sits beside me, his hand warm on mine, and waits. I do not know what to do, I say finally. I should hate him. I do hate him. But I cannot stop thinking about him. I cannot stop wondering if I am a monster for letting him die alone. He is silent for a long moment. Then he speaks, his voice soft. You are not a monster, he says. You are a woman who has been hurt. You are a woman who has survived. And sometimes survival comes with a cost. Sometimes it leaves scars. Scars do not make you evil. They make you human. I look at him, this man who loves me without condition, and I feel tears prick at my eyes. What if I go to him, I ask? What if I see him one last time? What if I need to see him, to look into his eyes, to finally let him go? Would you hate me? He shakes his head, a sad smile on his face. I could never hate you, he says. If you need to go, then go. But promise me you will come back. Promise me you will not let him take anything else from you. Not your life. Not your heart. Not your peace. I promise. And the next morning, I leave. The journey to the northern frontier takes 2 months. I travel with a small retinue, guards and servants, enough to keep me safe, but not enough to draw attention. The landscape changes slowly, from green hills to barren plains to frozen tundra. The air grows cold, then bitter, then unbearable. I wrap myself in furs and huddle in the carriage, my thoughts churning. I do not know what I am looking for. Forgiveness, closure, revenge, I have already had all of those, in different ways. I have forgiven myself. I have closed the door on the past. I have taken my revenge on the man who wronged me. And yet I am here, traveling to the end of the world to see him one last time. It makes no sense. It is the most foolish thing I have ever done. And I cannot stop myself. The frontier settlement is a collection of ramshackle huts, clustered together against the wind. The people who live here are the dregs of the empire, exiles and outcasts, criminals and failures. They stare at me with hollow eyes, my fine furs and well-fed guards a stark contrast to their poverty. I ask for Ling Fei, and they point to a hut at the edge of the settlement, half collapsed, barely standing. I approach the hut alone. My guards wait at a distance, watching. I push open the door, and the smell hits me first. Sickness. Death. Rot. He is lying on a pile of rags in the corner, his body wasted, his face gaunt. He looks nothing like the man I knew. He looks like a skeleton, a ghost, a memory. He sees me, and his eyes widen. You came, he whispers. I did not think you would come. I did not think you would ever forgive me. I do not move closer. I stand in the doorway, the cold wind biting at my back. I am not here to forgive you, I say. I am here to see you. To see what you have become. To understand. He laughs, a hollow, rattling sound. What I have become. I am dying, Lianhua. I am alone. I have nothing. I have no one. I spent my whole life chasing power, and it destroyed me. And you're everything I wanted to be. You are powerful. You are successful. You are loved. You won. You won everything. I shake my head. I did not win, I say. I survived. There is a difference. I did not beat you. I just refused to let you beat me. That is the only victory I ever wanted. He stares at me, his eyes filled with something I cannot name. Regret. Longing, hatred, it does not matter. He is dying. He will be gone soon. And I am still here, still standing, still alive. Why did you come, he asks, his voice barely a whisper. You could have let me die alone. You could have forgotten me. Why did you come? I do not have an answer. Or rather, I have too many answers, and none of them are right. I came because I needed to see him. I came because I needed to prove to myself that I was not afraid of him anymore. I came because I needed to let him go, truly let him go, and I could not do it from a distance. Because you were the worst thing that ever happened to me, I say finally. And I needed to see you one last time. I needed to look at you and feel nothing. And I do. I feel nothing. You are just a man, Ling Fei. A sad, broken, dying man. You are nothing to me anymore. He closes his eyes, a tear slipping down his cheek. I loved you, he whispers. I did not know how to love. I did not know how to be good. But I loved you. And I ruined everything. I ruined us. I feel a flicker of something, but I push it down. I have spent too long feeling sorry for him. I have spent too long letting him define me. It is time to let him go. It is time to walk away. Goodbye, Ling Fei, I say. And I do. I walk out of the hut, into the cold, into the wind. I do not look back. I will not look back. He is the past, and I am the future. I am the woman who rose from the ashes. I am the woman who built a world of her own. I am the woman who will never be broken again. The journey home is long, but I do not mind. I have time to think, to reflect, to heal. The cold fades, the tundra gives way to grass, and the grass gives way to hills. I return to my city, my home, my family. My husband is waiting for me at the gate. He takes my hand, his eyes searching mine. Are you all right? He asks. I smile. It is a real smile, warm and genuine. I am, I say. For the first time in 2 lifetimes, I am truly all right. He does not ask what I mean. He does not need to. He just leads me inside, into the warmth, into the light. And I let myself be led. I let myself be loved. I let myself be happy. The years pass. My business grows. My family thrives. I have children, beautiful children who will inherit everything I have built. I teach them to be strong, to be kind, to be wise. I teach them that the world will try to break them, but they must never let it. I teach them that they're enough, that they are worthy, that they are loved. And I think about Ling Fei sometimes. Not with anger, not with pain, but with a quiet sadness. He was a victim of his own ambition, a man who could not see past his own hunger. He hurt me. He destroyed me. But he also made me who I am. Without him, I would not have learned to fight. Without him, I would not have learned to survive. Without him, I would not have become the woman I am today. I do not thank him. I will never thank him. But I acknowledge him. He is a part of my story, a chapter that is closed, a page that is turned. And I am ready to write the next chapter. I am ready to live. The final scene is set in my garden years later. I am old now, my hair white, my face lined. My grandchildren are playing at my feet, their laughter filling the air. My husband is beside me, his hand in mine, his eyes warm with love. The sun is setting, painting the sky in shades of gold and crimson. It is beautiful. It is peaceful. It is everything I ever wanted. I close my eyes, and I feel the past fall away. The pain, the fear, the anger. They are gone. All that is left is love. Love for my family, love for my life, love for the woman I have become. I open my eyes and look at the sky. Somewhere in a frozen wasteland, a man died alone. Somewhere in a different life, a girl died in the gutter. But here in this life, I am alive. I am whole. I am free. And I am finally, truly, happy. The story of Lin Lianhua is over. But the story of the woman she became is just beginning. It is a story of resilience, of hope, of second chances. It is a story of a woman who refused to be defined by her pain. It is a story of a woman who won. And it is my story. Now and forever.